Hello everyone, welcome to Movie Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about what I watched this month, January edition, the first time in 2024. First thing I want to say is I have to apologize for not making videos in the last couple of weeks. I just got sick. I couldn't make videos. I'm not gonna say I didn't have time because I had plenty of time. I spent basically 2 weeks in my home, not getting out, and time I had plenty, but I just was feeling unwell and I couldn't make videos. I'm sorry. I hope you understand. But let's go. Starting off the year, what I watched this month. I have to say that. Now this is basically the last month that I'm going to be watching 2023 movies because I think already watched everything that I wanted, and there are still a couple of movies that I haven't watched that I hope I will watch in February. But if I don't watch it down to February, whatever, this is the last time I'm going to be watching a lot of 2023 movies because everything has run out. I've watched everything that I wanted basically, and let's go to the video. I started the year with Top Gun Maverick. In the beginning of the year, Top Gun Maverick was launched in the Netflix, so my parents were watching, and I decided why not. I had already watched Top Gun Maverick, not in the cinema, unfortunately, but I really liked the movie, and I wanted to rewatch it, and that was a good thing that I rewatched it because it's a really great movie. In the big screens would be even better, but I watched with my television that it isn't small, but of course it's not a cinema. But you know, it's a very fun movie. It's the straightforward movie that everyone wants it nowadays. No um too much plot, no really great concepts. Of course, sci-fi concepts are always nice, but just a good, straightforward movie is something that we don't have really nowadays. So Top Gun Maverick is a nice way to refresh these movies. Then I watched Leave the World Behind. This movie is very weird because not because of the premise, but it's because it has its ups and downs, but it has these really high ups and these really high downs. In the case, low downs. The movie has a really interesting dynamic of introducing us to the mystery, but then, of course, everyone's talking about the ending of the movie, that it is very. A lot of people are saying that it is very bad, and I'm not gonna say it is very bad, but doesn't definitely leave some answers to the viewers, and that's something that I didn't like. Of course, this kind of open endings where not everything gets fixed or not everything gets answered are common, and sometimes I really like them, but depends on how the filmmaker does it. And in this movie, it wasn't well built. Basically, there is a lot of mysteries, and there is a lot of other things to still answer, and a lot of other plot, other characters. That we don't see an end to their development throughout the story. So what I think is that of course you can leave some other things to debate and some other things to let the viewer get their own interpretation, but on other stuff you just have to answer it because it's just too much mysteries, just too much that we are hoping for an answer, and then we just don't get it, and that's why I think people are not really liking this movie. And it's not that I didn't like it. I think it's a 6 out of 10. I think it's an okay movie. Then I rewatched Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is from the monthly Harry Potter movies that I'm making, my monthly Harry Potter watches. This month was Goblet of Fire, and I have to say that this is a terrible adaptation from the book, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not. When I'm evaluating a movie, I'm not evaluating like that. Even though I'm a big Harry Potter fan from the books and all of that stuff, I still think it's a fun movie. I think that a thing that really declined this movie from Prisoner of Azkaban was the direction. They left Alfonso Cuarón, or he lived the franchise. I don't really know, but well, it's not Alfonso Cuarón that was definitely the best in the directions in the director's chair on every Harry Potter movie. Now it's Mike Newell that he's not a really good director. First of all, he said that he didn't like the book of the Harry Potter Goblet of Fire, so that's already a red flag. And I don't know, he's just not really good. Like everything is just so different from what we have seen in the other movies, from what we have established already. I think he could have worked this movie even more. I think this is a really interesting book. It's the first book in the Harry Potter franchise that is really big. And I think he could have made this something else. I just think that this sometimes is too cringe. Then I watched How to Have Sex. I really liked this movie. This is an independent British film, and I had seen a lot of people talk about it, and I really liked it. I think this is one of the best independent movies of this year. I loved watching it. It's really well depicted real life, and it's really well acted. I loved every actor in this film, and I don't want to say a lot of it because I really would like for to not give spoilers for who wants to watch it, but I think it's really well directed. It's independent, and the director of this movie hasn't made a lot of other stuff, as far as I know. Let me just check it. Molly Manning Walker. She hasn't made a lot of movies, I believe. It looks like she only has made short films, apparently. And if this is her first movie, it's really well done. I really liked this movie. I loved the main character, not just on paper, but the actress. She really delivered, and it's just a really well written movie. I really liked it. Then I rewatched Descendants 2. Why I watched it? I think you can guess it. It was because of my girlfriend. This one is a downfall from the first one, definitely. To be honest, I don't really remember much about this trilogy of Descendants movies. I don't really care about it too much. I don't really like these movies. I think this is just the normal teenager movie that happens through the for I don't know how to say this. Whatever. It's not. They're not good movies. It's even more they're musicals. It's something that I don't like. I don't like musicals. So these movies are not really for me. What it says about I don't like these movies. I think this is the. I don't think it's the worst of the trilogy. I think the third one is worse, but yeah, I don't like these movies. Then I watched Napoleon. Napoleon was a movie that I wanted to watch for quite some time now, since it was launched in the cinemas. I didn't get the chance to go. I believe it would have been a better experience if I had went to the cinema, because technically this movie is great. Like cinematography, production design, costume design, visual effects, complementary visual effects in this case. It's really well done in this sense, but I didn't like the story. I didn't like how Ridley Scott directed this movie. When I say directed, I'm not talking just about the direction. I'm talking about all of other stuff, like how he pictured Napoleon, how he pictured conversations between Napoleon and other people, or some events. It doesn't look very real sometimes. And I don't know, I just didn't like how the story was portrayed, because it's not the story of Napoleon. This is the story of Napoleon and his lover. Already forgot the name. Was she Jacqueline? I think her name was Jacqueline. It's just a story that I just didn't buy it too much. I didn't like how Ridley Scott portrayed Napoleon and this kind of era in our world. Then I rewatched Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a fabulous movie. I think I have to say, if you don't know by now, that Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. Maybe I don't consider it the best of all time. For me, it has no flaws, but whatever. I think it's a great movie. It's amazing what Steven Spielberg has done here. I love everything in this movie. I don't think there is a single flaw. Everything you can say that would be maybe negative, for me, it's not. Things that could have been bad, that is like the kids, like the young actors. Maybe normally young actors don't give too much, but I think these ones do just fine. Not just fine. I think they deliver really great. Every actor delivers really great. Steven Spielberg is making an amazing direction. The plot is very interesting. It makes a lot of sense, and it's a fun adventure. And I love this movie. Basically the first CGI of all time. It's being done here. It's not the first, of course. We had in the Terminator 2, but in this era, CGI was not really a thing in movies, and Jurassic Park just portrayed visual effects, not just CGI, of course, but the animatronics doing the actual T-Rex there and the other animals, and the soundtrack. Oh my, the soundtrack of this movie is just magical. It's amazing. John Williams is the goat, of course, and this is just a perfect movie for me. It's amazing what Steven Spielberg achieved in Jurassic Park. It's such a great film. Then I watched Soul. Soul was a movie that I've heard about people saying that it's not a really great one, but just few people. Really, I just had a based opinion when I went for this movie that it wasn't a really great film. Then I watched it. I found it really great. I found a really interesting and fun movie. I loved the story portrayed, the world, the pre-world, let's put it that way, because I didn't watch it in English. I watched in Portuguese. I don't know what was it called in English, but the thing that goes when you're not alive yet, and then you're not born yet. In case, I think I don't know what's the name in English, so I'm just going to label it pre-world. I loved that creation of that stuff of the pre-world, and the those creepy guys where people, when they lose themselves in something. It's a really great world creation, and I found the movie really great. And then I went to Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, and other critics, other YouTube critics, and I realized that everyone loved this movie, and I can understand why. It's a great movie. It has those moral lessons, let's put it that way, that are common in Pixar movies. And I think this one is great. I think it's not lame. I think it not just the movie. The movie is not just to tell us these moral lessons, but the movie is trying to tell us the story, and to tell it really well. Then I ended the month with a rewatch of Oppenheimer in the IMAX. Let's go. I've watched Oppenheimer 3 times now, but all of those times was in the IMAX, and I just have to say that I cannot see myself watching this movie not in an IMAX. For all of you that don't have an IMAX near you and haven't watched this movie in an IMAX, I feel so sorry for you, because this movie is amazing in the IMAX. This movie is amazing by itself. What Christopher Nolan did here is an achievement in filmmaking that I cannot explain. Everything in this movie is great. There's no flaws for me. Also, I loved, as I said, my favorite movie of the year. And in my review, I said that Oppenheimer was a 9 out of 10. And now that I've watched 3 times, I have to change my opinion. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a perfect movie. I don't think so, but it's not all 10 out of 10 movies need to be perfect. In my opinion, at least. I think this is a great movie. The soundtrack, oh my gosh, the cinematography, the visual effects, the scene of the bomb exploding in the IMAX is so great. Everything in this movie is great, and I love Oppenheimer. And this was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go watch these films and form your own opinion. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.